Brooke, so we found that some of these don't work the same way, or rather you did. I did find another way around it, and I'll show you that now. Okay, so let's do it for turkey vulture. So in this case, if we instead click on here on whole genome sequence, it's going to take us to a different place. Okay, so this is a GenBank file. You might be getting familiar with these, but you'll see here, instead of there being a sequence, this is actually a master record, right? So this is for the whole genome shotgun. So this actually doesn't contain sequence. It kind of contains, it gives us information about the set of sequences. So if we click down here on, so the difference between Scaffold and whole genome sequence, the whole genome sequence is just the raw contigs. The scaffolds, those raw contigs, have been combined into a smaller number of chunks. So actually, if you look at the numbers, this is from number blah 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 1 to number 216823. So there are 200,000 scaffold, 200,000 contigs, and then we look down here. The math is a little bit rockier, but it's about 40,000. So here the genome is in 200,000 pieces. Here it's in 40,000. So either one of these might or might not work. It turns out in this case, this one happens to have annotation. I checked that beforehand. That's how I know. Okay, so now it takes us to here, and so each one of these, as you're probably familiar, now you can see each one of these is a chunk. So this is a 16,000 nucleotide chunk, a 5,000 nucleotide chunk, and so forth. And you see there are 44,500 of them. Okay, so we want the sequence and the annotation information. So within summary, we're going to click on GenBank or GenBank full. Sometimes GenBank will just give you the sequence. GenBank full will give you the sequence and the annotation. So you might as well go with GenBank full. And so now you can see it's giving us here's this first record. And okay, so now we can look at it, and immediately we see when we look down that here's a CDS entry and here's our sequence. So now this is looking like what we want. So now the question is just how do we get all of these sequences together, all 44,000? So we can use this link send, and we're going to choose a destination. It's going to send them to a file, and we're going to create the file. And then wherever your sequence is, wherever your default for download is, it's going to be downloading the sequence here. So this is going to give us the genome that we need. Now it's downloading it to your local computer, which of course is a little bit of a pain in the butt. It means you're now going to have to SFTP it to Cinder, and I guess actually you're going to have to, I think you might have to SFTP it to Cinder and then SFTP it to Helix, which is silly, but for these 6 genomes, that might be what we have to do. So you can see actually I've got 2 copies of it downloading now, which is useless. But so wherever this shows up, that will have what you need. So hopefully that will work for all of those 5 genomes. And if it doesn't, we'll either find some other way to do it, or we'll conclude that we've done plenty. And that's all.